So I'm logged into my Linux machine. First thing is what provides Grafana. Same command yum what provides Grafana. If nothing provides Grafana, that means I have to set up a repository first. And if I have configured the repository, I would show you the repository how it is configured. No match is found. That means nothing provides Grafana as of now. Same scenario as your system have. So vi/etc/yum.repos.d / give any name that really does not matter, but extension must be repo. You are setting up the repository for first time, so understand the naming convention. The repository name must end with a .repo, and you put the content of the repository for Grafana. You set up the repository where you specify the Grafana name of the repository, paste URL, the GPG check enabled, repository GPG check, that will check the integrity part, you are enabling that, and SSL verification, yes, and where the certificate is to be installed. Save this repository and check that what provides Grafana again. Now you see Grafana is provided by the repository, and you see many versions of Grafana. The default version is 8.1.7, the latest one. However, if you use the latest version, the data source plugin for OCI does not support it, because that is tested up to Grafana 7.3 only. Therefore, if you give this command yum install Grafana, this will install the latest version, and hence I have verified and tested, and I am warning that if you use this command up to here only, then you will not be able to set up your Grafana data source plugin for Grafana. You have to go back to the previous version, and you have to select the 7.3 version of Grafana, because the plugin is tested up to this only. So you select the latest version of 7.3.1. so you select this package rather than what I specified. So when you select this package, you will be installing a old version, down version, and that also make sense in production. Production is always one version behind. That's very well known fact. Because of the patches and updates are stable now, and product is completely fully stable, no more updates, no more patches. So stable version is always one version behind. That also makes sense. So yum install Grafana 7.3.3-1. You install any version of 7.3, subversion 3. Or 3 or 2 or 1, whatever. But 7.3 should be the major version. Install it with -y. Now once the Grafana is installed, you need to open port number 3000, because Grafana work on port number 3000. Firewall -cmd -permanent and reload. So Grafana is installed. Now you need to start Grafana, enable Grafana, and reload daemon. When you say -- now along with enable, that will do two jobs. It will start and it will enable. Both the jobs can be done together with this one command. So let's enable it. It was Grafana -server. Fine. Yes, it is running, and enable it, so that it starts when you reboot your machine. That is enable Grafana. systemctl enable Grafana. Admin is the username password, port number 3000 open. So you want to access it from here, you can open it in the browser, and you want to open it from outside the machine, from the host machine, that's also very well available. So let's open this. Localhost :3000. Grafana welcomes you. Same way, we'll try that from the host machine using the IP address of our machine, which is 10.10.0.100:3000, and Grafana welcomes you. So username is admin, password by default it is admin. When you log in for the first time, you have to reset the password, submit, and this is your Grafana. Grafana is all about dashboards and panels. These are also panels. Understand that these are also panels for Grafana. Alright, you can organize them, you can arrange them, you can resize them. These are all panels for Grafana. So everything can be decided, everything can be changed, organized, reorganized. These are the default panels for Grafana. Now this is what the Grafana is. The entire panel is this. Whether you want to hide this, like search plus means create dashboard, create folder, import dashboards, then dashboards, manage dashboards, playlist, snapshots, then explore, then alerting, alert rule, notification channels, then configuration, data sources, users, teams. We are going to look at each aspect of Grafana from this URL, and this is users, organizations, settings, stats, and here also we have few settings, preferences for you as a user. You sign out or you change your password. This is overall quick overview. When you click on plus sign, it will create a new panel, and this is the default chart available. Grafana is monitoring itself. So this visualization is coming from default data source, which is Grafana itself, because Grafana is creating visualization from its own setup. If your Prometheus is running, you will be able to create from Prometheus, which means if you want to monitor your node exporter, which you configured yesterday, because you configured node exporter to make the data available into Prometheus, so you can visualize the data here in Grafana. The cycle will complete now. Prometheus pulls the data from node exporter. Prometheus make the data available. You set up the connection here for Prometheus, and you are good to go. You are ready to create the panel. So that's what data sources was all about. So here we are going to create the data sources. Right now there is no data source available as of now. Discard this graph. And moreover, whenever you create a dashboard or anything, you have a lot of other things also, like that is this area I am talking about. So if you want to apply the changes, it will apply, and these are the add panel, add, save dashboard, dashboard settings, cyclic view mode, last 6 hour data refresh rate, custom or specific, or how the range can be specified, zoom level, and then refresh time. All right. How much for every 5 seconds you want to refresh it, you will see that details. So these are quick overview of Grafana. We have set up the Grafana, we installed Grafana. Let's go through session 1 now, which will make it more clear. Session 13, set up Grafana on Oracle Linux 7. Agenda is getting started with Grafana, installation on Oracle Linux, installation using Docker, Grafana on Windows. So what is Grafana first of all? Grafana gives you view of your resources. It's excellent monitoring tool, let me tell you team, because I've been using Nagios for I delivered first training on monitoring tool, that was Nagios, and the training I delivered was in 2010-11, I remember. But when I saw Grafana, I was lost in it. It's so powerful because I was so fascinated about Grafana. I created multiple dashboards for this monitoring. Like if you want to monitor MySQL, I have a dashboard. I created a dashboard for you. You can monitor complete MySQL. And if you want to monitor Oracle and cloud infrastructure resources, I created a dashboard for you, for OCI also. And I'll make sure that you'll also be able to create a dashboard for monitoring your resources. That's the agenda. In these 2 days, going to change your life as far as monitoring is concerned. I'm sure about it. So what is Grafana? Open source visualization and analytics software. It allows you to query, visualize, alert on, and explore your metrics, no matter where they are stored. That is the most important point. No matter where they are stored. You can even pull the metric directly from the database. For example, if you want to view weather data and the statistics about your smart home, then you might create a playlist. Enterprise explore metrics and logs. You can write ad hoc queries and dynamic drill down. This may give you more power. One of the team members just showed he's managing multiple customers. Imagine he create a dashboard and he from the drop down he select the customer name And then the moment he select the customer name, he see all the tenancies of the customer. The moment he drill down the tenancy, he see all the compartments of that customer. And then, just think of that filter is available right on the top. And the panels are appearing as he is selecting through the variables. That is why dynamic drill down, the word being used here. Alerts. Get alerts through alert notifiers through SMS or mail or Slack. Any custom endpoint can be used. There are many. Annotations. Annotate your graph. That gives you meaning to your graph. Like you see some pattern, your regular pattern, but sometimes you have some spikes and then you are back to square. Now you want to annotate this graph. This was happening because some heavy workload or migration going on, or application backup was being taken. So you can annotate this part of graph to convey the message why it was happening. Annotate graph with rich events from different data sources. This is also allowed by Grafana. Import dashboards and plugins. Community is very helpful here. Like as I said, I created some dashboard for you and you can use them. So import dashboards and plugin. Discovered hundreds of dashboards and plugins in the official library, contributed by community. Authentication supports LDAP, OAuth, and allows you to map users to organizations. With Grafana Enterprise, you can also map users to teams, not with the community edition which we are using right now. That is, mapping users to team is not possible in Grafana Community Edition. Provisioning. Power users in need of many dashboards would want to automate the setup with a script. You can script anything in Grafana. It's so powerful. Grafana Cloud is a highly available, fast, fully managed open software as a service logging and metric platform. Grafana Enterprise is commercial edition of Grafana. Installing Grafana on Ubuntu. Process for Ubuntu OL7 everywhere is that first you set up the repository and then you install it with the appropriate installer. So similarly, let's understand on Ubuntu. You can install Grafana using official repository by downloading a .deb package or by downloading a binary .tar.gz file. To install latest open source software release, first you install this apt get install apt transport https, then install this software properties common wget, which are required thing, and then you install the key, that is gpg key, add this key, then add the repository. This is the repository. First you download the key, then you add the repository. This is the repository. You are putting the downloading the repository and putting it into this apt sources.list.d grafana.list. This is the repository. This is how you set up repository in Ubuntu. After the repository is added, you can update and then install Grafana. I repeat, when you type simple Grafana, apt get install Grafana, it will download and install the latest version. However, as of this month, 1st of October, I must say, let me give a reasonably correct statement. As of 1st October 2021, the data source plugin for OCI was not supported on latest version of Grafana, that was version 8.1. So you have to go for the previous version of Grafana. Start your server with systemd, daemon reload, start and status, and then enable it. That's what you have seen in action. This is on CentOS 7. We have done that. Add a repository. This repository part, I demonstrated this. And this is install the Grafana. So we are not following this yum install Grafana because that will install 8.1. For the purpose of OCI specific requirement, we are not installing the latest version. However, it is safe, it is okay. You install latest version, verify, work with it, try OCI data source plugin, and then uninstall it, erase it, clean it, and then install again the old version. No big deal. You can try that. I'm just giving you suggestion that if you want to try and then face the error, then learn that it is a good idea, good suggestion that you first try the latest version, verify that yes, the data source plugin is not working for the latest version, and then you remove that version and then install the old version the way I demonstrated, and then verify yes, Ram was correct. Start the server with systemd, start Grafana server, enable Grafana server, check the status. What is installed where? What is the directory structure? Where the default setting configuration binaries are located? Makes sense that we need to understand them. This install binary to user sbin Grafana server. This copies init.d script to etc init.d Grafana server or etc systemd system that you are well aware of now. etc systemd system, under that you find Grafana server .service. Install defaults file, that is environment variable file, under etc sysconfig Grafana server. Copy configuration files to etc grafana grafana.ini. Install systemd service named grafana-server.service. Uses a log file as var log grafana grafana.log. I think this information is very handy and very helpful for anybody who is a serious user of Grafana, because he want to control Grafana, he would want to control Grafana, he would want to troubleshoot Grafana, he would want to manage the Grafana service, he may want to pass on additional parameters to Grafana startup script. So from where will you get all these details? What do I do? This slide number 11 of the session definitely is going to come for your rescue. The default Grafana configuration specify a SQLite 3 database at this grafana.db where the database is located. And again, as I said, you may want to customize Grafana, you may want to set up Grafana behind a host name, fully qualified domain name, or under a subdirectory of a fully qualified domain name, or you would want to use a different database for Grafana details to be captured, to be stored. So this one slide gives you all the input directly, indirectly, that where can I change. Obviously, if you think of that I want to use MySQL as a database server, first you have to change the settings in this file, and then you need to configure MySQL and the username and password. You need to specify those details in this file. Similarly, if you want to host Grafana behind a fully qualified domain name, definitely the same file again will come for your help. That yes, you have to set up this file here. Even you can set up Grafana behind a reverse proxy. That's also possible. We are going to discuss a lot of things in these 2 days. Not only using Grafana, but managing Grafana as well. Run Grafana Docker image. If you want to run Grafana from Docker image as a container, you can install and run Grafana using Docker, official Docker image. It comes into 2 variants, Alpine and Ubuntu. Alpine image, Grafana, you specify Grafana version. This is the default image based on Alpine Linux project. What is Alpine Linux project? It is a small bare minimum operating system required to run your software. No extra baggage. You may not find many things which are available. The size will be less than 100 MB. If you include Grafana, still the size will be less than 100 MB. Because Alpine itself is around 50-60 MB size maximum, 70 maybe. If you add Grafana, then size will be around 100 MB only. Run the latest stable version of Grafana. Grafana run. You know this command because we have been using this Grafana. Docker run. Detached mode, map the port in the image name. Run a specific version of Grafana using Docker. Grafana run, detached mode, port mapping, name of the container and the image and the version number you specify here. Like 7.3.4. So you specify the version number here. You want to install on Windows, binary is available. Binary, double click, next and done. you know the simple procedure in how it works in Windows. Navigate to the download page of Grafana. Select the Grafana version you want to install. Most recent will be selected by default. Select the edition, enterprise or open source, and then click Windows. The binary will be downloaded and start installer. This is the page. Grafana platform Windows. You select Windows, click on it, download it and start. This is the first step, launch the installer. Next, you know it, how it works in Windows. Finish. So open the browser, visit localhost:3000 and Grafana will welcome you. That's all for this session. Thank you very much.